Hi everybody and welcome back. Now in our last lecture we created our book class and I still have it open here. So you can see it here, class book, and then all the code within. So in our previous section we were looking at functions, and a function that is part of a class is called a method. So here's our first function, def INIT. So this is a method, and then we have three more methods down below it. So the init method is a special Python method that runs automatically whenever we create a new instance based on the book class. This method has two leading underscores and two trailing underscores. This helps Python's method name from conflicting with our method names. We define the init method to have four parameters: self, name, price and publisher. So here they are here. Nothing new so far. The self method is required in the method definition and it must come first before the other parameters. It must be included in the definition because when Python calls the init method later to create an instance of a book, the method call will automatically pass the self argument. Every method call associated with a class automatically passes self, which is a reference to the instance itself. It gives the individual instance access to the attributes and methods in the class. When we make an instance of book, Python will call the init method from the book class. We'll pass book a name, price and publisher. Self is passed automatically, so we don't need to pass it. Whenever we want to make an instance from the book class, we'll provide values only for the last three parameters: name, price and publisher. Our three variables defined here, name, price and publisher, have the prefix self. Any variable prefixed with self is available to every method in the class. So any of these variables here are available to any of these methods below. And we'll also be able to access these variables through any instance from the class. Self.name equals name takes the value stored in the parameter name and stores it in the variable name, which is then attached to the instance being created. The same process happens with self.price and self.publisher. Variables that are accessible through instances like this are called attributes. The book class has three other methods defined. We can see them here: hardback, softback and an ebook. Because these methods don't need additional information like a name or a publisher, we just define them to have one parameter, self. The instances we create later will have access to these methods. In other words, they'll be able to open or close or have more descriptions and more functions. But for now they don't do much. They simply print a message saying that this is a hardback or a softback or an ebook. This concept can be extended to realistic situations. If this class were part of an online bookstore, these methods would contain code such as reviews, description of the book, whether you can look inside the book digitally, and so on and so forth. Now in our next lecture we're going to be looking at making an instance of a class, but that's it for now in this lecture, which mainly just describes the body of our class. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'll see you in the next lecture.